they can't get the treatment they need, and then not only that, they can't meet their attorney that they're just signing up with. And my big thing is always trying to go meet with my clients so they can see me, size me up, and I can get a feel for what they're going on in the face to face, just what's human nature.
Yeah.
And I think it's been hard. I mean, that's definitely been tough, but the clients all understand. They get it. They don't want to put themselves at risk. I don't want to put them at risk. So they understand what we have to do.
I mean, geez, imagine they're being in pain with neck or back pain, and it's, the decision just to, like, do we even refer them to the doctor? And then they call back and say, should I really go? And it's, God.
I truly can't imagine, pain is an isolating thing no matter what, and I think in trial, you try to express that to the jury. And I think it's hard for a lot of people, jurors, to understand, if they've never been there, what it's like to have pain just completely isolate you, because you can't do the things you used to do. You're kind of a prisoner in your own body. And we deal with, you deal with that. We deal with that with our clients all the time. We try to really get into what they're feeling and try to be the mouthpiece for them, for the jury.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that's going to come out of this is the jurors are going to understand what isolation truly feels like. We all are, as human beings throughout the world. Jurors are going to know isolation is a horrible thing. I mean, there's positives, but it's not the human being is not meant to be isolated from other human beings. It's just not in our nature. It's not how we're supposed to function. And I think jurors are gonna. I think they'll be able to relate to clients to if we express what isolation feels like. But imagine being isolated and in pain, and you can't do anything about the pain. You can't go to doctors. You can't get better. You just have to be at home, isolated, but in pain. I mean, to me, it's really it's really sad, I think.
You're right. And that's a big point for, maybe injury lawyers that are dealing with the insurance defense companies, is because we talk about inconvenience and anxiety and fear. Now we have another listed item, right? Non-economic damages is called isolation. And it's huge. And everybody's going to be able to relate to.
I've been hearing, I'm on a lot of listservs. I'm sure you are too. There's some really good Trial by Human, CALA, a lot of really good listservs. And there's a lot of talk about, some defense attorneys are trying to flip this and say, oh, jurors are not going to want to award people money because they're forced to sit there. And I agree with what a lot of people are saying. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think people are going to want to be in a community environment and do good work for people that truly deserve it, and they're going to be able to understand how bad things can get when you're alone, when you're isolated. Just like all of our clients have been dealing with forever who are in pain.
Right, and at this point, I mean, we're all in this together, right? I mean, we may have a book of cases, and we know what it's like for all of our clients to be suffering, but now, all the world is suffering. So, I leave it up to the big dog trial lawyers like you to help us figure this out. I'm counting on you. So, but how's it been dealing with the insurance companies?
So for the insurance, my experience has actually been pretty good. I mean, defense attorneys are, some, in my experience, are less willing to move cases, but others are actually wanting to settle. I mean, they need to stay busy too. They have billable hours to hit, and I think they understand the situation, and insurance companies want to get some of these cases off their books if they can, and they're willing to go to early mediations. I've had, 3 different adjusters reach out this week and want to do earlier mediations by Zoom. They realize how easy it is. So I haven't gotten too much pushback. I mean, we're not a volume practice. We try cases. We take on cases to hopefully try them. Obviously, we settle, if we get a good offer. But I'm not experiencing the pushback I thought I was going to get from adjusters. I mean, a lot of them are more than willing to do this form of mediation. I think it could be the future of a lot of mediations.
No, I mean, part of it I like, the fact that you're not in traffic, you're not paying the parking fees, and, you don't have to deal with all the client anxiety. I mean, they're anxious just in general. Now adding this. So, I mean, I know you're doing the best you can, and we're always going to stay optimistic on this. And I like your perspective. Steve Artizarian said the same thing. So just give him a call. I've been calling. I've been having to leave a lot of messages, but
I know. It's definitely harder to get a hold of somebody. I mean, and the thing is I want to be super reasonable. I mean, no one wants to be a hard ass right now to anyone else. Judges are not going to like that. It's just not what we should be doing right now. But I could see some of the other side of abusing a little bit, being like, oh, we have this great excuse for why we didn't push cases forward. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I anticipate that.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned you're not a big volume firm, but I mean, you specialize in trial cases because, you give the trials the attention they need, the workup. How's that affecting your intake these days? Are you just kind of like just working with other law firms, maybe helping them evaluate their cases? I mean, what are you doing to make sure you stay busy?
Yeah, man, like we belong in the courtroom, right? I mean, you just like me. I mean, when the courtrooms are closed, I mean that's our field, right?
Yeah,
And
it's like your second home.
you can't go play. So it's been hard. I mean, just what I've been doing is doing a lot of these webinars. I mean, a lot of great trial attorneys around the country are putting on great webinars, and I'm reading all kinds of books, going deep into my depots. But the intakes are certainly, I mean, I'm not going to lie, they're certainly down. It's not because no one has a rush to have their case tried right now.
But like from a home perspective, like, are you using any particular software tools or things that?
Yeah, I mean, Zoom has been great.
Working
it
out
really has been effective with my team because you can screen share. I can put up, maps or photos or just any kind of case documents that we can all go over at the same time. We use Slack now, which I learned from my wife. She's in digital marketing, and her uses it all the time. It's basically just it's a instant messaging service. It's been really good, just so everyone can stay in touch. Because it is hard. I mean, when anyone works from home, there's distractions, and it's tough. It's human nature. It's going to be tough. But I mean, my team's been so great. They really pulled together. We're all ourselves accountable. And through Zoom and Slack so far.
Okay. So do you got to have like designated area you're working from home, or do you just have the laptop and wherever you go, put the earbuds in or something and get away?
Yeah, I got my monitor set up. I got two screens. I got like a hookup, so it feels like I'm back in the office. My baby cries in the back of conference calls all the time, but it's kind of funny, and people are being obviously super understanding, and it's good. It humanizes everyone, that we're actually human beings that have a real life.
And it brings us all together, I just think, family, the confinement sucks. And, all those lost souls and people who are ill, obviously we don't like that, but it's a legal industry. We just have to figure out how to stay relevant because our clients need us. What do you see as far as the future for the legal industry?
Well, I think we're going to realize that we're not obviously tied to office space. We're not. I mean, that's kind of a fundamental business, general business concept that's going to come out of this. Is that there's a lot more we can do, like we're doing now. There's a lot more hands-on we can do with clients, face-to-face like this, and spend more time face-to-face where you're not necessarily there in person, but you can still get a lot done. I mean, you and I could witness prep right now like this. I mean, you and I could spitball opening statements. You can see my mannerisms about how I do it in front of a jury. So I think we're going to see a lot more of this. I think it's going to, a lot more focus groups.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. I know Bob Simon was already kind of talking about this kind of stuff, collaborating and video depots. And, it seems like, he had a sense of, plaintiff lawyers need to collaborate. And you're right, because I get more time with you because if I just call you and you pick up, it's great. I don't have to worry about, it's too much traffic, or hey, King, another meeting came up. You can come right out the restroom and be like, hey.
I'm always excited to see your face, Steve. Anytime I can see your face, man.
Well, hey, dude, I'm always sitting outside and just trying to keep everybody happy. But you talk about the lessons from this crisis. Is there anything positive besides what you've already talked about? I know you've done some employment discrimination stuff. Okay, and employment's big right now because everyone's sitting at home. I mean, I don't know if you thought about that at all, or what your gut tell you about how we can serve justice to our clients in the employment arena.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a big issue. I think, we're obviously we're this is the third week of quarantine or so, somewhere around there. And I think people are figuring it out. Small businesses, large businesses are figuring out what they can and can't do with their employees. And I think you're going to see a lot of violations, either intentional, um, or employers being negligent and terminating employees or not following the law. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need help. I think there's going to be a lot of employees out there who, as things get worse, as this quarantine lasts longer and longer, that they're going to lose their jobs. And if employers doing it for an illegal reason, which is going to happen, then they're going to need representation. They're going to need help from trial attorneys. And you're going to see those cases peak up.
Yeah, and what would be interesting is just, starting thinking about where people can go to get those resources, kind of knowing what their rights are. And, it's going to be trying times, but hopefully people will work together. And I know you have lawyers you work with on the personal injury side, as well as on the employment side, as well on the workers' comp side.
Yeah.
And, man, like I said, any ideas you have, because I know what an amazing person you are in the courtroom, but now you're stuck at home. So we need some home ideas.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, like you said, I think it's just creating that community and maintaining that community. I mean, I feel like I have been in touch now with Zoom and other avenues with people I have not talked to in so long.
Yeah,
we're always so busy and it always seems so hard. But I've been talking to people I haven't talked to in 10 years, like twice a week.
that's
and
cool.
it's been amazing just to reach out and touch, because we're all feeling this. It's all hitting us hard, People may have had underlying issues like anxiety and depression, and it's just gonna get worse by this. And so I think just reaching out, not just for referrals, not just to try to get something out of it, but just to check in, like, hey, how are you doing? I mean, how's your practice going? Like, let's football. Let's come up with ideas to make sure that we can both be better out of this. And maybe someone has an idea that I haven't even thought of. Check in personally, because it's hard, man. I mean, this is tough. People are getting sick around us, it's starting to hit home with clients. I had a client who lost her father.
Wow.
And it's just like, man, we actually know and care for, this is happening to, and it's just gonna. I mean, sadly, I'm worried that it hit most of us close to home. I mean, I hope not, but I think just the check in, just to know that we're all in this together and that we can help each other, or just lend an ear and just listen to them. It's just so important to know right now.
No, you're right. I mean, there we have it from Dan Kramer. Is checking in with each other, just on a personal basis. We're all in this together, checking in on your clients, trying to communicate, be a family, right? I mean, as trial lawyers, that's what we ask our jurors. That's what we ask of ourselves. And I think we have a big responsibility here, Dan, and I know you're going to step up to it. I love that you picked up the phone, man, allowed me to check in with you. I got Steve Arzier up last week. Yeah, I'll be calling, dude. So when you get those ideas, let's highlight them. And, anything like how you do your depots or, any bright idea, you'd be surprised how many people want to hear from you. Maybe you won't be surprised, but.
I'm always surprised anyone wants to hear from me. No, but I do got to say, I mean, because, LATLC is very dear to my heart, Los Angeles Trial Lawyers Charity. And we had a board meeting and there was like 30 lawyers on it. We're all trial lawyers. We're social creatures. And it was one of the best times I've had during this whole thing. It's just seeing 30 trial attorneys on there, and they all stepped up to help people. I mean, we raised $10,000 in an hour just from the board to go give back and meals for kids that need it. It's just been remarkable how trial lawyers are willing to step up, especially through LATLC. And I'm really, really proud of that group.
So keep those ideas going, Dan, man. Like I tell you, it's phenomenal, man, that I call you, I'm sitting right outside the house, because
I love it, man.
I got kids and everything in there. I don't go too far, but
yeah,
I got my tree and I got my car.
that's as far as you can go.
Yeah, man. But it's great seeing you, man. Tell your wife I said hi, and enjoy your time with your kid. And man, thanks for tuning in with.
Thank you, man. Thank you for what you guys are doing. It's really great stuff. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We're doing this, and we're keeping our Master Law series going with Dornick and yourself and Bardazarian and Cardo and all those guys. But we're going to keep asking you guys for more. So I'll check in with you next time.
Anything you need, buddy. Anything you need.
All right. Cool. Good seeing you. All
Take care.
right, peace.
In our courts, all men are